Hi everyone, this is Austin here, and I'm one of the co-founders at Clarify, and I wanted to quickly walk you through a really cool integration I set up between Clarify and Kondo. If you're not familiar with Clarify, we're a next generation CRM, and if you're not familiar with Kondo, you definitely should be. It's an incredible way to get through your inbox really fast. Okay, so I'm here in Kondo. I'm going to show you how to sync this message chain. The other day I had a lightning round on Maven, and a bunch of students were reaching out to me, and I want to get this message from Joe and our history chain into Clarify, because maybe I can just Command K and hit sync, and boom, there it is. So now I can jump on over into Clarify. Let me just jump back to my record. You can see I have a list of people inside Clarify that I started syncing recently. I'm going to go here to Joe, and we're just going to give it a second, and there it is. You can see I have my whole message history from my conversation with Joe right inside of Clarify. So this is a demonstration of how easy it is to get your LinkedIn data inside Clarify, and we do it with a simple Zap flow. If you want the template to this, we'll be sharing it, and I would love you guys' feedback and comments on what we can do to improve the partnership. So to start, we're going to actually jump over to Kondo. I'm going to come up here to my inbox, and I am going to go to webhooks. Create it. I'm gonna go ahead and edit ours. You can see here that we have a Clarify message sync. We have a trigger type. We have a URL to enter our Zapier hook, and then a bunch of body data. And you'll notice that I have this set to manual. Manual means every time you want to log a message, it will manually sync when you click the sync button. If you want it to be streaming, you could set it to streaming, and then it's going to sync every time you're getting LinkedIn messages. Now jumping back over to Zapier. Let's go here. You'll get a webhook, and then you'll be able to trigger a response from Kondo. Now, there's a couple steps that I do after this. Some of the problem is that LinkedIn doesn't give us email address, and we don't want to go scraping a bunch of profiles and have set LinkedIn. So what we're actually going to do is we are going to make a request to Apollo, giving the person's LinkedIn handle and trying to look up their email address and other information we can. If you don't have Apollo, you could try to do this with another data enrichment provider. If you don't have any of those, you could just try with GPT, and you might get a nice hit. So I hit the URL people/match. I'm getting the first name, the last name, and the LinkedIn handle. And I'm also giving it this value called reveal personal email true. Once you make this request, though, you're going to get back a bunch of interesting data about the person. And then what I do is I actually set up a GPT step. I use GPT steps all the time to take kind of a gobbledygook of data and structure it. In this case, I'm giving it other data, I'm giving it LinkedIn data, I'm giving email, kind of everything that's relevant. So I'm giving it the whole history of the conversation with Kondo. I'm giving it the LinkedIn URL, and I'm giving it the emails, both from Kondo if it has it, which it likely doesn't, and then also from Apollo. Throw that all in here, and then I have description based on the information above. Try to extract the company name and the person. I also try to do the same for the domain, and I also try to do the same for email. Now, the reason you need these three things is because you need the company name if you want to associate it with a company record inside the CRM. You need a domain if you want to associate that with the correct web domain and have all your companies created hygienically inside the CRM. And you need the personal email if you want to create the record with email and a LinkedIn address and have that tied to the company. So we have an action called Find Company, and I just click on that, and we have a bunch of other actions as well. You can see here, there's quite a few. I throw the domain in there. And then the next step I'm going to do is I'm actually going to create a comment. I just want to post the comment, my LinkedIn history with them onto a comment record in Clarify, so it appears as part of the activity chain. And then anybody who looks can kind of see the messages that I have and interacted with them. So I go here and I just make a little message called latest LinkedIn Kondo message. I put the conversation history in here. And the last step is actually add them to a list inside Clarify. So in Clarify, we have this concept of lists. We have both dynamic lists and static lists. In this case, it's a static list because I'm adding records one by one. There's no filter logic or anything like that. And you can see I created this list here. It's a person object, and I have my Kondo LinkedIn Zap list. This just makes it really easy for me to find these records later. So if I want to, say I do an outbound campaign with a growth machine, and I want to make sure I can go back to those records later, I could do something like that by having a list inside Clarify.